Okay, we had some technical difficulties. We're just going to start that question over. The traits of an eating disorder in terms of body image.
Sure. A lot of times what you'll see is severe body image distortion. So somebody who is struggling with body image or eating disorders, when they look in the mirror, they're seeing themselves as drastically different than their body actually is. So they see themselves as fat and overweight even if they're not, or there's major preoccupation with specific body parts, whether it's their thighs or their stomach, or just in complete just hatred for certain body parts.
So sad.
Yeah, we also see that generally how people feel in their bodies and their body image that day is really dictated by how much the scale says in the morning. So the way they feel throughout the rest of the day is determined by whether they've lost weight or gained weight or stayed the same. And you'll see a lot of people weighing themselves once, twice, 3, 4 times a day to try to see if the number on the scale moves. And if it does, it can change how they feel about themselves.
Okay. What age group do you think does the media affect the most? Would you say middle school, like younger girls?
I mean, I think that's hard to say specifically. The media probably affects not necessarily an age group the most, but those who indulge in the media the most, which a lot of times tends to be younger people.
Some psychologists say that as you get older, like me, for example, I'm 21 years old, my brain is more developed than a 13-year-old, so they would be more susceptible to how terrible the media is regarding body image.
Yeah,
and that would affect them more.
How media savvy you are is going to affect it. Cognitively, like you said, the development of the brain, I'm sure, can play a part. It used to be that a lot of the image-focused stuff was focused on younger teens, 20-somethings. A lot more now we're seeing ads that are targeted towards 40-somethings and kind of stopping the aging process, normal things that your body goes through that everybody's trying to stop. We see the Desperate Housewife era where, you're seeing older and older women who are still trying to fit into this thin ideal. And so while we might, a lot of times women get stronger and more self-confident as they get older, we're seeing the media kind of continuing those trends of targeting that population as well.
And last question, what advice do you give to people affected by the media's portrayal of the perfect body?
I wish there was, a magic answer for this, but we can certainly take steps in the right direction. One would be to, do as much as you can to learn about it and become what we call a critical viewer of the media. So when you're looking through the magazine, you're not necessarily seeing the ads just as the ads, but you're seeing the ad, and then you can be knowledgeable about all of the things that went into making that person look that way. So the makeup artist, the clothing specialist, the lights and the makeup and the photoshopping, and then, so knowing that there's not really anybody that looks like that can help a lot to distill the pressure that's on all of us to look a certain way. Certainly throw out your scale. I always, when I do presentations out in the community, I often ask young girls in middle school and high school to close their eyes and think about their 5 role models, the 5 people they look up to the most, and to think about the diversity in them. Those people, just in thinking about, they mean so much to them and they are people that they admire, and yet they're probably all different body sizes, all different body types. So looking to those kinds of people for our role models instead of necessarily looking in the magazines. And, it might be hard for some people to comprehend, but why even put money into those magazines? Why buy them? Why have them in the doctor's office waiting room? Why support that kind of message that's being put out that can be so harmful to us?
Well, thank you so much, and thanks everybody for reading and watching her video.